playoff starting next week in Class A. Golden Bears coming off a big win over Landmark Christian last week, 56-6 behind 377 rush yards on 25 attempts. That came out to a baffling 15 yards per carry for this Bears offense last week. Michael Cox, of course, leading the way, 12 carries, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That gives his season total of touchdowns up to 17 through 9 games. Tyquan Alexander taking over for the injured Will Vincilette last week, had a big game, 5 carries, 3 of those 5 going for touchdowns, 2 of them from distances of 30 and 50. He finished with 129 yards on just those 5 carries. It was an efficient game for the quarterback, Matt Davis, 3 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown run. He also had a touchdown pass to the tight end, Graham Collins. The senior caught his second touchdown pass of the season. And again, it puts the Golden Bears in a position to be successful and get into the playoffs. And Coach Todd Winter's second season, he's 7-12, needs that 8th win tonight, and they're hoping to get it against a struggling Bobcats team from Our Lady of Mercy. 0-9 this season, 0-6 in the region. Under first-year head coach Mark Miller, this is the team that had success. They went to the playoffs last year, finished 6-5, first-round loss to Mount Vernon, but just a huge loss. Down to only about 21 players coming out of the locker room. But it's their senior night. It's their last game. They're going to be ready to play as the captains meet at midfield. It's Graham Collins, Michael Cox, Hunter Hawk, and Richard Johnston, the captains for the Bears, as it has been all year. The Golden Bear faithful traveling well tonight, filling up the away section right in front of us as Bo Maxwell brings out the hammer as the team gets ready to come through the banner. Second year in a row, this Holy Innocents offense has been led by the big bruising back, Michael Cox. 161 carries for over 1,100 yards this year. We mentioned the 17 touchdowns, already 4 more than he had last year when he rushed for 1,200 yards. Him and quarterback Matt Davis averaging just around 7 yards per carry this season. So they're efficient when they get the football. The wind's howling, but the Golden Bears look ready to go. And Coach Todd Winter is going to get his special teams unit ready to go. I believe the Bears will be kicking this one off. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ned Case. Dunn Neugebauer not here tonight. He's getting ready for the cross-country state championships with the Holy Innocents boys and girls teams. Both of them region champions this fall. Head to the postseason. We've mentioned big chance here for the Golden Bears to do just that as they'll kick this one off. Landon Cardian, who we saw taking over some kickoff duties for Blake Dobbs, will kick this one off. Windy night here in Fairburn, under 50 degrees, wind blowing. Back deep for the Bobcats is number 3, Bryson Mullins. We'll call his name quite a bit. And the left-footed Cardian's going to squib this one. Kind of hangs in the wind, settles down around the 20-yard line, and picking it up, trying to come to the near side, looking for room, and finds a little bit of room. Hard run there. He's going to be slowed down just short of the 35-yard line. That was Colin Schmitz, number 12, on the return. As the Bears defense gets on the field, we'll talk about our keys to the game presented by Ed Voiles Automotive Group. It's all about winning the field position battle. It's about tackling the football. And it's about winning the turnover battle, which, of course, that's plagued the Bears a little bit this season. They're hoping to clean it up. Had a pretty clean game last week. See if they can do the same here as the Bobcats start under center, hand off up the middle, spinning, not a lot of room. Hunter Hawk in on the tackle as Mullins gets the first carry of the game. The quarterback is number 4, Christian Burks, just a freshman. A lot of freshmen on this roster, and again, only about 20, 25 kids, so a lot of these guys are going to get on the field whether you're a freshman or whether you're one of the handful of seniors they have on this team. Gain of 3 on that first carry, bringing up 2nd and 7. They're going to put a receiver out to each side. give the triple option look that we see out of the Bears, but it's going to be a pass, quick throw, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, John Phillips. Good throw from Burks, couldn't be corralled in. So it brings up a third down situation here. Holy Innocents very efficient defensively last week, forcing a lot of 3 and outs, getting the offense their ball, and the offense didn't give it up. Scored on every possession besides a late turnover on downs. The punter, Marshall Nichols, wasn't used. He'll hope to be used today. Trot out on the field, stay a little bit warm. Third and 7, ball on the 32-yard line. They need the 42 for a first down. And they're going to pitch it out wide, looking for some room on the edge. Nowhere to go. Good gang tackling there. And it'll be a 4th down, loss of about 3 on the play. Looked like Bo Maxwell may have been the first one in there. A little bit lower press box tonight. So hard to see on that far side of the field, both for ourselves and our cameras. We'll do the best we can and keep you informed at home. We appreciate you tuning in as Tyquan Alexander is back deep to return this punt, standing right around his own 39-yard line. And it's going to be a short kick. See how it bounces. Takes a pretty nice landmark bounce, and will be down at the 46-yard line of Holy Innocents. So they'll have nice starting field position, only need 54 yards to get in the end zone. 10-19 to go here in our first quarter. And as the Golden Bears look for their first touchdown, we want to remind you at home that if you want to be part of the Holy Innocents Touchdown Club, just visit hiestdclub.org/join. Find out what membership group fits you best and become part of the Touchdown Club. As we see Kadar Henry in with Felton at the A-backs, Cox the B-back, Davis the junior under center. Davis is going to keep it. Quarterback run the whole right away. Has some room. He's got an alley. One play, one touchdown for the Bears. 54 yards out. Matt Davis on the keeper the whole way. See the replay. The low cameras here are going to give you, you're going to see it the whole way. He keeps it, follows his fullback Cox up the middle. He's maybe touched there a little bit on the arm, but he broke free. We talk a lot about Davis's shake to get free, but he's got that speed when the hole opens up. And that's exactly the start that this team wanted. They scored on the second play from scrimmage last week, or second play of offense from scrimmage last week, and they score on the first this week. Cardian's left-footed extra point is going to fade towards the left upright, but go through for a 7-0 lead, courtesy of Matt Davis' 54-yard run. So the Golden Bears get in the start they want, especially against a team that's struggling on their senior night looking for a win. Don't let them hang around. That's exactly what the offense did. One play, one touchdown, 54 yards for the junior Davis, getting his 7th touchdown of the season, 4th on the ground. Just about 2 minutes gone. If you're just joining us, 3 and out forced by the defense, and Davis just ran that one in from 50 out as him and Marshall Nichols tossed the football around here in front of us on the sideline. Cardian again has this one teed up to the far side. Went with the squib last time. See if they do again. And Cardian will. This one again will be picked up by Schmitz. And he's again going to come to the near side and find a little bit of room up the middle. Schmitz is running hard, but there's a lot of white jerseys there to take him down. Similar starting field position just past the 30-yard line for the Bobcats. (4-2-5) defense out of the Holy Innocents defense. 5 DBs like a nickel look you see a lot on Saturdays and Sundays. Their linebackers Hawk and Collins roam sideline to sideline and seem to be in on almost every tackle. We have Felton, Dixon, Rowe, Maxwell, And Ronnie Williams are the 5 DBs on this possession. They'll rotate a handful of guys through those spots. Keeper for Berks. Not a lot of room, but picked up a few. As you see the Bobcats running that similar triple option look. Spread it out maybe a little bit more with 2 receivers. And the quarterback will head over to the sideline and get the play call from coach every time. And Jack Felton comes out. Looks like he's going to get his helmet adjusted. And the freshman Xavier Smith will hop in the game. Smith took some reps late in the game last week and got a touchdown. It was his second rushing touchdown of the season for the freshman on the varsity level. Rose splits out to the bottom of the screen to cover. Give up the middle and back in his way, close to first down yardage. I believe that was 7, Brandon Moss on the carry. It was Moss on the carry, and he's going to be a yard short of the first down, so Bobcats looking to get some momentum back after giving up the quick score. Grass field, only the second time the Golden Bears have played on grass so far this year. The other one over at Eagles Landing, Crown Field. 3rd and 1, big play for both sides and good push, but a nice patience by Berks to find room behind the guard and center and move the chains. So last week it took a whole half before this Golden Bears defense gave up a first down. Second drive this week. It's an offense that struggled for the Bobcats, only putting up 44 points through 9 games. Closest game was a 13-point loss to Landmark. But they got a first down here and drop back passes. Burke throws it out wide and again high and through the hands of the intended receiver. This time he was looking for the freshman, Anthony Griffin. We often talk about the youth of Holy Innocents, how many sophomores and juniors and now later in the year freshmen names we're calling. Similar look for Our Lady of Mercy. Now Holy Innocents is trotting out about 60 guys for the game today, and Our Lady of Mercy closer to that 20-25 mark. But upside for both these sides. Again, Our Lady of Mercy 0-9 this season, but coming off a playoff appearance last year. And it's going to be a give up the middle. Looking for room was Moss, and not nearly as much room on that carry for the running back. And we'll see where they spot him. Gain of 2. Hard-earned 2 yards there for Moss. Another freshman. It's 3rd and 8. Chance to get off the field here for the Golden Bears defense. You know Coach Winter would love to get that ball back with his offense. That's been clicking in the last couple weeks. Only 14 against Trinity Christian, but the 2 games sandwiched in between, they've hung 50 points, both in wins. 3rd and 8. They're going to bring a man in motion. Have 2 receivers try to draw him off sides. Now they're going to throw the ball, rolling right. Pressure in his face, stepping up, and Graham Collins is going to get a sack. He had 3 last week. He's got 1 today as he takes down the freshman Burks. See on the replay, they motion him out, trying to run a little inside-out route combo, but Graham Collins doing a great job coming up, making the sack. It looked like Hall O'Neill and Sam Aiken did a nice job setting the edge, not letting Burks roll all the way out to where he wanted to get. Owira with the punt to Alexander. This one's going to be short, and again, Alexander's not going to have a chance to return, but a nice roll. And it'll be a 25-yard line start for this Golden Bears offense. 1 play, 54 yards on their last drive. They'll need 75 to get to the end zone, and we'll see how many plays it takes the junior Matt Davis and this offense. 6:33 to go in our opening quarter. Collins in at tight end. Cardian splits out a receiver, and they don't have 10 guys in the field. Hunter Hawk trots on late. And again, it looks like there's no Will Vincilette tonight, so they're going to have to work some different backfield packages, and we see one here as we see an offset I formation as Hawk comes in as the lead blocker for Michael Cox. Hawk gets a pancake straight off the sideline. Michael Cox in a foot race makes a man miss with a stutter step and tried to drag another into the end zone, but stopped inside the 20-yard line. Big gain by Michael Cox as he busted through Hunter Hawk coming off the bench right before the snap, gets the pancake, and 55 yards later, Cox is finally dragged down out there on the edge by the corner, Nico Watley. So the Bears having no problem with their footing on this grass. Again, we'll see the offset I. Almost a dual set, and they're going to hand off to Cox, following his blockers again, bouncing down to the right sideline, stays in bounds, and taken down near the goal line. Looks like they'll spot him about the 1.5, 2 yard line as Cox from the ground reaches across, but a bit too late. So seeing some diversity with this offense as Coach Winter has got to work without one of his starting A-backs for the second week in a row. We saw a lot of Alexander last week, saw Henry on the first play, but now they're going with a pair of B-backs as Hawk mostly being a lead blocker here for Cox. Turn, Cox third carry, strolls into the end zone, his 18th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Golden Bears have their second touchdown of this opening quarter. And after the last two big runs, that was an easy one for Cox as he took the snap, took about 2 hard steps, and saw he was going to have an easy path into the end zone. Cardian will come on for his second extra point attempt. Cheerleaders get the big flags out in the wind and get a hand from the crowd who are impressed. It's a heavy wind. You can probably hear it coming through the headset as Cardian puts his second extra point through. So this time Cox from just about a yard out puts Holy Innocents up 2 scores. 5:50 to go in our opening quarter. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back here on Holy Innocents Football, powered by SUV TV. So Cardian gets the ball teed up for his third kickoff already of this game. Touchdown run by Davis and Cox have given the Bears a nice 14-0 lead halfway through our opening quarter. This one gets a little more air under it. It's going to land and get picked up, and now they're going to lateral it to the return man who stays on his feet. Nice return here by Mullins. And again, good starting field position for the Bobcats. Haven't been able to cross midfield, but did pick up a first down on their last drive. You saw on the replay, like the ball hopped to Phillips. He knew who to get the ball to as Mullins showed a good return, stepping through an arm tackle and fighting for some nice yardage, getting the ball out to the 34-yard line. Burks in at quarterback, still looking for his first completion of the game. Got a receiver to the near side, 3 backs in the backfield with him. And fumble on the snap. It looks like Holy Innocents have it. Everyone's indicating on the defense that they do. Still waiting for the signal, and they do. Holy Innocents forces a turnover, and they're going to have their best starting field position inside Bobcats territory As you see, the freshman Burke just couldn't quite handle that snap right away. He pulled out. He went right back in to try to get it. Couldn't see who came up with it in that pile. Got to imagine one of those defensive linemen up front. So a one-play drive and a three-play drive for the Golden Bears as Kadar Henry's back in with Felton at A-back. And we're going to throw the ball. Carty in deep, past everybody over the shoulder. Hauls it in inside the 5-yard line. Nice touch pass by Davis. Nice concentration by Cardian as he caught that one over the shoulder. And we've seen that all year when they set up the run game. They can sneak guys behind the secondary. And Cardian, nice job corralling that one. And it'll be a first and goal from the 2-yard line. And they'll go back to Hawk with Cox. Both about 4 yards deep. Handoff to Cox. Follows his blocks and into the end zone for his second easy score of the game. And Holy Innocents clicking on all cylinders as Coach Winter would expect from his boys competing for a playoff spot against a team that's winless this season. Cox almost couldn't pick which hole he wanted to run through on that one. He had so many. So Cardian off the hold from the punter, Marshall Nichols, getting some action today. That extra point is up and through. Cardian 3 for 3. And Michael Cox now 1 touchdown away from 20 on the season. To go along with his second consecutive 1,000-yard season. He's got 32 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons and only played 8 or 9 games last year. He's looking to lead these guys into the playoffs. And we'll talk about that playoff picture and try to update you guys some on where we may be going. But right now, Holy Innocents is in the 24 spot, and that's the last spot to get in the playoffs. They're sitting at 4-5. Coach Winter said all year 5-5 is going to get them in the playoffs. Teams 23 through 26 all at 4-5. So some big games coming up for those guys, and to take care of business. And Holy Innocents thus far is doing that 21-0, less than 7 minutes into our game. Cardian's left foot boots this one deep, takes the hop, and Mullins is going to try to return it. Coming up, crosses the 20-yard line to the near side, and stretchy jersey there as Hunter Hawk grabbed it. He was about 4 yards behind him, still had a hold of that jersey. But again, right shy of the 30, or excuse me, right around the 30-yard line is where this drive will start. This time just shy at about the 28. See that replay? That jersey is stretching out. Usually all you hear or all you see these days are those snug, tight jerseys that guys can hardly get off at the end of games. That one has a flex to it. And trotting on, getting one of the linemen on the field. Looks like 55, Brennan Schmitz, 6'1", sophomore, coming on late. So Burks under center. He's going to keep it in. Sam Aiken off the backside drops him for a loss of 2 on that carry. Nice pursuit there by Aiken. Off the backside, this defensive line has played well. He got back to the line of scrimmage on that. This defensive line has played well all year, switching from 3 down linemen last year to 4. Has helped stop the run game. It has really helped get pressure on quarterbacks. And they've got a lot of depth out there. Right now it's McKinnis, Aiken, Tyler White, and Swanumson. And we'll see guys like Michael Cox play there. Richard Johnston, they've got some depth on that front 4 group. Second down. Handoff again right up the middle, looking for room and finding a few yards was Brandon Moss. 3rd and medium here for this Bobcats offense. 4 minutes to go in our first quarter. 3rd and a long 5, maybe 6. They're going to need the 39-yard line for a first down. Moss comes out of the game, as it looks like coming in for him there was Colin Schmitz. And a receiver to each side. It's going to be Phillips and Griffin. And they're going to give up the middle to Schmitz, looking for room coming over the pile. But I think he's going to be a few yards short, and we'll see what the Bobcat offense chooses to do on a 4th and 3. And they are going to send the punt team out there. And no one deep right now for Holy Innocents, as they're going to see if they fake it now. Tyler Rowe will drop mediumly deep. Another nice punt there, backing up Rowe. And it's going to take a really nice Bobcats bounce down inside the 15 and die dead at the 13. So a nice punt there to flip the field and give the Bears their toughest starting field position after they had a short field off the turnover on their last drive. So first unit still trotting out there. Davis and Cox have led the way so far. Scored 2 touchdowns on their first 4 plays. And then after the fumble, took a few quick plays to get in the end zone again. 21-0 the lead. Christian Padgett, the receiver, tight to the formation next to Collins here at the bottom of the screen. Felton in motion. They're going to give to Cox, has some room. And it's going to go for a first down. So every play so far for the Golden Bears has gone for a first down, unless it's been a goal-to-go situation. Cox picks up 12 on that carry. You see these big holes opening up, running right off. A great block there. That might have been Richard Johnston, the guard, getting a down block there. The tackle. Henry with Felton. Felton in motion. Give to Cox, and finally met at the line. Still powering forward for a positive gain. Picked up 2. Hit there by Schmitz at the line, as well as the defensive lineman, Cole Sinek. Windy night here in Fairburn, Georgia. Temperatures down below 50 degrees. Gloves, winter hats, coats, blankets, all being busted out tonight. Nice showing by the Holy Innocents faithful, filling up this away section as Davis checks with Coach Winter on the call. Minute 45 and counting in our opening quarter. Padgett again tight to the formation as a receiver. Handoff up the middle. Cox finally is going to be dragged down. It took a couple defenders. First one on the scene looked to again be 58 Sinek. So first 3rd down, this offense has faced all game. 3rd and 5.5, maybe 6. They're going to need the 36.5-yard line to move the sticks. Haven't gone to the edge yet. It's been Cox, and he's got Hawk, who's been his lead blocker, in front of him in the backfield now. Pitch out to Cox. They're going to get him to the edge. He's got a little bit of room, cuts it upfield, has a first down. Nice job, Hall O'Neal out there on the edge, and Hawk leading the way again. Chains move as the ball gets out to the 39. Just a traditional pitch with that lead blocker. And Hawk, one of the better lead blockers I imagine you can find, a guy who just craves contact. Call his name on defense all the time. He does have 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. Saw him a lot early in the year, but since the Eagles-Landing game where Cox went off for 160-plus yards, it's really been his backfield, and he's taken it and run with it. And it's going to be a throw here for Davis. Deep past Collins! And a little bit out of his reach. Good pressure there by Moss and 55 Schmitz to force a quicker throw than Davis wanted. You see Collins all the way from the other side of the formation is working his way across the field and Davis just could never really set his feet. Cold night. That ball gets a little bit slicker and slipped out of his hands. Great effort there by Collins. I believe that would have been Collins' 4th reception of the year. He's got 2 for touchdowns and made a fantastic catch similar to that one against Mount Vernon and a close loss this year. Turn, hand off to Cox. Bullying his way forward, nowhere to go again. Cole Sinek finding his way in on the tackle. So on the 4th series for this offense, the Bobcats defense standing tough, and that may take us to the end of the quarter as we're counting down under 10. And they will head to the sideline, and we'll take a quick break with them, but a great start, almost perfect here for the Golden Bears. They lead 21-0 over Our Lady of Mercy on the road, looking for a trip to the playoffs. Welcome back to Holy Innocents Golden Bears football, powered by SUV TV. I'm Ned Case. Thanks for tuning in. We're down here in Fairburn, Georgia. For those of you tuning in for Dunn Neugebauer, which I know is most of you, he is preparing for the cross-country state championship meet this weekend with the region champion boys and girls, Holy Innocents cross-country teams. But we're hoping he'll be back for another playoff appearance next week as the Golden Bears right now sitting at 24th, and the top 24 get into the playoffs. This win would help solidify it, but again, with the power rankings, it's all based on math and numbers and how the other teams are doing. And we have a little bit of a slowdown, but now we're good to go. It's a long 3rd down for the Golden Bears. They converted on the last one. They're going to throw Davis. And he's got Hawkins the flat. What a catch. Hunter Hawkins stretches out for the 1st down. Hunter Hawk, his first catch of the year. He had to go up and get that one through a couple defenders. And a big-time 3rd and long conversion. Nice play fake, and Hawk just found his way out from the backfield. Davis had to throw it up over the defenders. And great snag by Hawk, showing those hands. No gloves necessary. So after 3 scores on their first 10 plays, the Golden Bears offense has run into a stingy Bobcat defense here on their 4th drive. Felton in motion. Now they're going to come back to the near side. Davis keeps it, pitches it out to Henry. Henry's got a lot of room and a blocker. Felton's blocking his man. Henry's going to cut it back 30 down the sideline, 25, and slung out of bounds. Kadars Henry's first carry in a couple games goes for a big-time gainer as he picks up almost 30 yards on the carry. And you see all this green grass. Felton just looking for somebody to block. And Henry's got that speed, nice moves along the sideline to pick up an extra 6 or 7 yards, patiently waiting for that block. And with Will Vincilette still out, Jack Felton's had to become a little bit more of a blocking back from his A-back spot as opposed to the ball carrier we've seen a lot of the season, but he's handling that job well. Felton lines up even with Cox now. Kadar Henry, A-back. He's going to motion to the near side. Keeper by Davis on the midline. Bouncing outside. Breaks one tackle and is tripped up. Looked like the opposing quarterback Berkson on that tackle on the defensive side. Gain of a few and a Bobcat defender down. 58 seconds into our second quarter. Golden Bears looking for their 4th touchdown. And mind you at home, as we like to do every game, that if you want to be part of the Holy Innocents Touchdown Club, it's as easy as going online, visiting hiestdclub.org/join. Find the membership level that fits you best and become a member of the Holy Innocents Touchdown Club, hiestdclub.org/join. So getting helped off is Darren Jackson, a junior, one of the upperclassmen on this squad from Our Lady of Mercy. The team struggling this year, winless, coming off a 37-0 loss to Trinity Christian. But has experience winning. Playoff team last year, bowed out in the first round, 6-5 record. And they took down this Holy Innocents team last year, 42-28. But Holy Innocents looking for that revenge and looking to match last year's point total on their first drive of the second quarter tonight. Felton in motion. Davis is going to throw. He's been doing that a lot tonight. He's got Collins wide open for his 3rd touchdown reception of the season. Davis, his 4th touchdown pass of the year. And it looks like the offense may stay on the field for this. And they will. Oh, no, it's the special teams unit with a bit of a muddle huddle. Will Shane setting up to take the snap. Now he's going to motion out. Graham Collins is going to take the snap. Reverse here. Richard Johnson's going to throw it. And dropped on the far side. Intended for Will Shane. That was a fun play for everybody involved as the defensive lineman and offensive lineman, Richard Johnson, had a chance to throw to one of the tight ends, Will Shane, who's not known as a pass-catching tight end, and we may see why. There is the ball right in and out of his hands. He's not going to want to watch film on that one Monday. But a great start still for the Golden Bears, up 27-0. But a well-executed play, a play like that you see a lot of times out of 2-point plays at the college level, but, takes a lot of motion, different guys handling the ball, taking snaps, and Richard Johnson giving Will Shane a little grief on the sideline right now. And they may be huddled around the iPad right now watching the drop, and I think Will Shane just saw the drop from his reaction. But they'll move on from that. He'll get a chance later. He can only hope. So Cardian, the left footer, has this one teed up again. Again on the left hash for the southpaw kicker. Nice kick is going to die down and going to be picked up by Mullins, running to the far side and nowhere to go. Great tackle, I believe. Hunter Hawk was in on that one as he gets helped up from the ground, and it was Hunter Hawk. Now Coach Winter will look to get his defense refocused after having some fun on that 2-point conversion play. And they'll look to get the ball back to the offense once again. Offense clicking on all cylinders for the second time in 2 weeks, granted against some of the not a stiff competition on their schedule, but you still want to see your offense click like that against some of these teams. As Hawk out of the game, William Willis is in, and it's going to be a turn and a handoff. Looking for room is Brandon Moss on the carry, and a late flag comes in, so we'll see where that goes. I think it's going to go against Holy Innocents from the sideline reaction. Xavier Smith will come in, and Jack Felton's going to get a breather and maybe a quick pep talk. So it's going to be a dead ball, personal foul. And it looks like it did go against Felton, so it'll be a free first down. And now Tyler Rowe looks like he's being told to come out of the game. So Tyquan Alexander will check in. So we talked about the depth of that secondary, and it's having to come into play right now. Whether it be an equipment issue or the coaches needing to calm some guys down. Clock winds, 10.5 to go before the halftime break. Burks gets the offense set, triple option look like we've seen from the Bears offense. He's going to throw, looking to his left, post pattern, deep. Maxwell in coverage has a chance at the interception and could not corral it in. He was like a center fielder back there trying to run that one down and just lost it a little bit. Good coverage there, not getting burnt deep as they tried to hit the speedster Mullins on the post. And just off his hands, between him and Will Shane, there are going to be some frustrated guys watching film Monday. What could have been? And although you get away with it in a game like this, those are plays. Next week you get this playoff berth that you got to be able to make to give yourselves a chance, especially to pull off an upset if you're going in towards a 22, 23, 24 kind of seed. Phillips, the receiver, splits out wide. Mullins in motion. Now it looks like he's going to turn to be the lead blocker. And I believe that was a midline keeper by Burks. Nowhere to go, stacked up after the gain of just one. Third and long now. Ball on the Bobcats' 30-yard line. They're going to need the 38 to move the sticks. 39. Burks comes in, brings the play in from the sideline. First-year head coach Mark Miller leading this Bobcats team. Man in motion, and Burks is going to throw, and he's got two guys right away. It was Hall O'Neill from the backside, Ronnie Williams from the front side, and a party in the backfield for Williams and O'Neill. Punt situation now for the Bobcats. You see Williams here at the bottom of the screen. His guy goes in motion. He said, I'm coming. Nobody picks him up. And the only bummer for Williams is that O'Neill got there at the same time, and they'll split that sack. But I can imagine that everyone in white right now is more worried about getting that win and making sure they're practicing next week and going to the playoffs. Low punt. Alexander's going to let it bounce, and again won't have a chance to return. He puts his hands up like, come on, let me get the ball on. He's had some impressive returns this year. Ball dies down at the 44-yard line, and that's where Matt Davis will trot out for the fifth drive of the game for the Golden Bears, all four previous resulting in touchdowns. And now Bo Maxwell catching a little bit of that grief that Will Shane caught earlier for that drop. All in good fun. Up 27-0, 8.5 to go before the halftime break. Felton in motion. Now they're going to come back to the near side. Pitch out to Henry. He's got a lot of room again. He's going to have the first down and more. Crossing the 40-yard line into Bobcats territory down near the 35-yard line. Kadar Henry running the ball well. Gain of 20 for Henry. He's now got 2 carries for close to 50 yards. This is an offense last week that rushed 25 times for an average of 15 yards per carry, totaling up to over 375 yards on the ground. Felton in motion. They're going to stay on the ground. Davis keeps. Late pitch to Henry, who corrals it in and is going to keep fighting. Now gets whistled down after the short gain. Davis, I think right away when he pitched that one, knew he would have been wiser to keep it, but No damage done besides getting behind the sticks for this second down play. Nice corral there by Henry. Second and 13 now for the Golden Bears offense. This is their longest second down of the game. That may be the first play that went for negative yards this evening. Cardian splits out, receiver at the top of the screen, ball here on the left hash. Henry in motion. Davis is going to throw again. He's going to go deep. Cardian turns and couldn't quite get there, about 2 strides too far ahead of the sophomore. Davis showing off his arm today. I believe that's his 5th pass attempt. He's got a touchdown pass to Collins already. Collins' 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. So now 3rd and long. Clock stops at 8:01. Tight formation. Padgett, the receiver, at the top of the screen next to the tight end. Felton in motion. Give up the middle. Michael Cox. They don't need to run the ball on 3rd and long. Just give it to your workhorse. And he picks up almost 20 and moves the chains on a 3rd and 13. Nice job by the Hogs up front of giving Cox a lane to run through. Once he gets into that second level, it's good things for the guys in white tonight. Felton motions, give to Cox, and met right away in the backfield. Still fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage was Cox, but quickly in the backfield was Cole Sinak, a name we're getting used to calling. He's playing a nice game on the defensive front for the Bobcats. Second and 10, all just outside the 20-yard line. Felton motions, tried to get the Bobcats to jump, but they didn't cross into the neutral zone. Reset. Felton motion again. It's a quarterback keeper the whole way for Davis. And he's going to pick up a nice chunk, still short of the chains, but a very manageable 3rd down. So credit to the Bobcats, making some adjustments, taking away the explosive plays we saw in the first 6-7 minutes of this game, but Holy Innocents still finding a way to move the ball. Felton and Padgett come out. Cardian in, as well as Hawk. So we'll see if we see more of the offset eye with Hawk leading Cox. And that's how they'll line up for now, with an extra blocker as the A-back. Pitch out to Cox. Gets a nice kick out, but chooses to bounce it. Ball's on the ground, and Michael Cox, I think, got back on it. A rare fumble from the junior Cox, something we don't see often. Falls on it. Still managed to pick up a yard or two, but it's going to bring up a 4th and 2. And Coach Winter doesn't look like he didn't think for a second about the field goal. Keeps the offense on the field. And they'll need to block Cole Sinak. He's been the guy up front for the Bobcats making the plays. 68 in red. Offset eye again. Hawk the lead back. Turn. Give. Bouncing it outside, and it is Sinak coming up with the play. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. The junior defensive end is having himself sophomore defensive end is having himself a fabulous night. Seems to be the one guy that the Holy Innocents front just can't seem to find or block. Swinnessum comes off a little frustrated. First and 10. Ball inside their own 15-yard line for the Bobcats. First shotgun snap we're going to see. It's going to be a jet sweep for Mullins. Spencer gets there to set the edge. Him and Hunter Hawk combined for the tackle, bringing up second down, gain of a few. The first time we've seen the shotgun, and they go with the jet sweep. Nice job there. You see Spencer getting to the edge, not letting Mullins, who's been a speedster, get to the edge and get down that sideline. This time they'll go back under center with a receiver to each side. And they're going to throw quick out for Phillips. This time caught. And Leighton Dixon there for the tackle. Gain of 4, bringing up a manageable third down for the offense. First completion of the night for Berks. So Berks brings the play in. Big play here. If it goes to 4th and short, we'll see what they do. They're deep in their own territory. So it would be a tough decision if they can pick up a few on 4th and some confusion. And I think now they're going to use a timeout. So Coach Mark Miller calls a timeout on this 3rd and short, and we'll take a timeout with them here on Holy Innocents Golden Bears football, powered by SUV TV. And we're back here on SUV TV's coverage of Holy Innocents Golden Bears football. 3rd and 4 for the Bobcats, looking to get the chains moving and get a score here before the end of the half. They trail 27-0. The Golden Bears looking to get the ball back, get a score before the half. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Hunter Hawk showing blitz. He comes on the blitz and nowhere to go. I believe that was Mullins on the carry. It may have been Moss. It was Mullins. Not a lot of room. Brings up 4th and short. And it doesn't look like the punt team's coming out. So Berks and the offense will stay on and try to pick up this short yard. Now Coach Winter is going to make sure his defense knows the importance of this play right here. It'd be a nice short field. Got to make sure you have good discipline and watch the ball. Don't give them a free 5 and move the sticks for them. So 4th and 2, tight formation, 2 receivers to the same side, and a timeout again is going to be called by Coach Miller. I believe he was maybe not happy with the way the Holy Innocents defense lined up as he went to a different set for the first time. .3:31 to go. It was a first play from scrimmage, touchdown for the Golden Bears offense after forcing the 3 and out. Davis went 54 yards then. On the next drive, it took 3 plays as Michael Cox had 3 carries for 75 yards. He got a 1-yard touchdown run. Then Cox had another touchdown run, this time from 2 yards out. And then the 4th touchdown came on a pass as Matt Davis found Graham Collins naked behind the Bobcat defense. Now the Golden Bear defense looking to come up with a play. Bobcats got a big 4th down stop defensively to get the ball. Now the Golden Bears defense trying to return the favor and give Matt Davis, Michael Cox, and company the ball with a short field to work with. Hawk and Collins, the linebacker. McKinnis and Tyler White, the defensive tackles. Getz and Aiken, the ends. Tight formation. This time the twin receivers to the bottom of the screen, and they're inside the hashes. Or excuse me, just outside the hashes, and a false start is going to go against the Bobcats, and that will likely bring up a punt situation, but we'll see what Coach Miller's thinking. And he does trot out the punt team now. And some frustration and just little things like that's how you end up 0-9 at this point on the year. Alexander will go back to return this one. Hasn't been able to return one yet, standing on the Bobcats' 45-yard line. Nice high punt. Alexander's going to back up, have a chance to return it, and almost got away from the first tackler. Nice pursuit there. It'll be a return of about 7 for the sophomore. .321 to go. All 3 timeouts remaining for Coach Winter and the Golden Bears. Cardi in the single receiver. He'll come to the near side, out wide. Henry and Felton, the A-backs. Cox, the B-back. Felton motion. It's going to be a drop back pass for Davis. He's going deep. He wants Collins again. He's got Collins. And again, just about a step outside of his reach. Davis having fun throwing the football around tonight. Missed Collins by about a step twice and missed Cardian by a step or 2 earlier, but does have the touchdown pass to Collins. Collins a little frustrated he couldn't get to that one. Second and 10, Padgett, the receiver, tight to the formation. Davis checks with the sideline and communicates the call. Give. Cox in between the tackles, finding room, and close to inside the 25. They'll mark him right at the 25. Chains will move. Again, room behind those front 5. Front 5 that carved up running lanes for 377 rush yards last week. Clock hits 3 minutes. It continues counting. Henry in motion. Keeper by Davis to the outside, down the far sideline, and in for 6. Great ball handling there by Davis as he gets in from 25 yards out. His second rushing touchdown of the night. 9th touchdown of the season. So a nice stop by the defense, getting disciplined, forcing the false start out of Our Lady of Mercy, and then a well-executed drive after the turnover on downs on the last one. Cardian's extra point, up and no good. Looks like he may have pushed that one a little bit left. Score will stay 33-0 after Davis's 3rd touchdown of the night, 2nd on the ground. .249 to go before the half. Holy Innocents will get the ball to start the second half. And with all 3 timeouts, they can force a 3-and-out. Could add more points to the scoreboard here. Again, Cardian tees it up on the left hash. Seen the squib and the deep kick. See what he goes with for this one. He'll put his foot into this one and drop Mullins back deep, and that will go for a touchback. First touchback of the game for Cardian. Golden Bears defense back on the field. We mentioned it didn't give up a first down in the first half last week, giving up a few tonight, but been very stingy. We'll see what Coach Miller comes up with his freshman quarterback. Only one timeout remaining for the Bobcats, who used 2 on their last drive and ended up false starting on the 4th down and having to punt the football. Phillips and Griffin split out a receiver. Now Griffin comes in as a tight end at the top of the screen. Burks is going to reverse out, hands it up the middle for Moss, and he has nowhere to go, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10. Ball nose of the ball on the 20. All they need is the nose of the ball to touch the 30 for a first down here. Burks again brings the call in from the sideline. So now receivers split out. Moss again, the V-back behind Burks. They bring Mullen in motion, hand off to Moss, nowhere to go. Hunter Hawk met him right at the line of scrimmage. Under 2 to go. 3rd and 8. Pickup of a few on that carry for Moss. Griffin McInnes and at defensive tackle, him and Tyler White looking to keep the middle stuffed up, letting Hawk and Collins roam free from their linebacker spots. Two receivers out wide, bunched to the formation. And it's going to be an underneath give to Mose. Ball's on the ground, and it looked like Jack Felton fell on it. And a second fumble recovery for this Golden Bears defense in a very short field. 1:02 to go and all 3 timeouts remaining. A big play there. Like may have been Sam Aiken on the hit. And Jack Felton jumped right on the football. So ball inside the 20, red zone opportunity here for the Golden Bears. As it'll be the backfield we've seen a lot of the night with Henry, Felton, and Cox. Henry in motion. Davis is going to throw. He's got time, sets his feet. Cardian, and a little bit deep on that one. About ran Cardian right into the goalpost there. Nice protection up front from the line and backs. And Collins again had beat his man. Just a little bit too much on that throw from the junior quarterback. So Pageant in at receiver now. He splits out to the right. Henry in motion. Davis is going to roll that way now to draw a play for Cox, who's going to step out of one-arm tackle inside the 5 and into the end zone. Michael Cox for the 3rd time tonight with 45 seconds to go in the half. Great draw play there after throwing the football more than we've seen in a game this year. Got everybody to drop, and Cox only had to step through 1 tackle. And the junior got in for his now 20th rushing touchdown of the season. Cardian missed his last extra point. See if he can split him here. Good hold by Nichols. And that one does split the uprights. So the lead goes out to 40-0 just before the halftime break. Seven possessions for the Golden Bears in this first half. 6 of them going for touchdowns. 1 of them a turnover on downs on a 4th and 2. Mullins, the deep man, again in the return for the Bobcats. Cardian put the last one in for a touchback. And ball falls off the tee. As we mentioned, it's been a windy night. You can probably hear the wind coming through the mic at times. It's going to be dives, 38 seconds. Mostly short routes to pick up yardage. Holy Innocents will get the ball to start the second half. First defensive unit group still on the field for the Golden Bears. Looking to close out this half strong. Tight formation with one receiver. Be back just about a yard or two deep, and that's where they go with the ball to Moss. And he spun his way forward for a little gain, about 5. Clock winds, only 1 timeout for the Bobcats. A lot of field to cover. Can't imagine they'll be too aggressive. Clock hits 10 seconds and counting. If they get this play off, it'll be the last of the half. Burks takes the snap, gives again to Moss, who doesn't have anywhere to go. A helmet pops off, a flag comes out. So this half will go a little bit longer while we see what the call is. Half can't end on a defensive penalty, at least a live ball. So see if the helmet came off due to a face mask, and it looks like that will be the indication. So I was wrong. We'll have another down in this half. It'll be untimed from inside Bears territory for, I believe, the first time tonight for the Bobcats offense. So now defensively, just got to make sure nothing gets behind you. Burks drops back to pass, see if he has time. We've had good pressure up front out of the defensive line and blitzing linebackers tonight. So receiver to each side, inside the hashes. Maxwell drops deep. Burke is going to roll, and Graham Collins didn't even give him a chance to look downfield. Collins gets his second sack of the evening to go along with a touchdown on the offensive end, and that will close out our opening half. 40-0, the Golden Bears lead, looking to get another week of the season and into the playoffs with a win. We'll be back for the second half of Holy Innocents and Our Lady of Mercy in just about 20 minutes. Welcome back. Holy Innocents Golden Bears football powered by SUV TV. Second half about to get underway. Golden Bears will receive up 40-0 already. Last game of the year trying to get to 5-5 and into the playoffs for the first time under second-year head coach Todd Winter. Kadar Henry's going to have a nice return and brings the ball up near the 40-yard line, and that's where this drive will start. And we'll see who comes out on offense. And it looks like it'll be the first unit, and it is. Davis trots out there. Cox trots out there. And we'll have a running clock in the second half, which most people in the stands are grateful for, I assume. Hot chocolate line was long at halftime as Kadar Henry checks in, and they get the Bobcats ball off the field. Holy Innocents ball set for play. Give up the middle to Cox to start the second half, and he's not going to have a lot of room. Picks up 2. Like Bodkin in there as well as Sinak. 2nd and 8. Again, Bears come in ranked 24th in the power rankings. That's the final spot in the playoffs. Top 8 get buys in the first round. And Davis keeps now, pitches it out wide to Henry. He's going to get to the outside, catches a nice block by Felton, and dragged down in Bobcats territory at the 42-yard line. So Paget out. Cardian will come in as the receiver. And that's going to be a handoff to Cox. I think they're going to get illegal motion. It looked like Cox started rocking a little bit before the snap. And Felton was already moving. And Cox gets up a little gimpy. Certainly not what you want to see. Hunter Hawk will come in. And they are going to get the illegal shift, so it'll back them up 5. So now it'll be 1st and 15. Ball on the 46-yard line. Clock winds under 10. Felton motions, now comes back. Keeper by Davis. He's going to get to the edge. He's going to come down the sideline, staying in bounds, picking up a few extra yards, and finally stopped just shy of the 20-yard line. So picked up the 15 needed for the first down, plus an extra 7 or 8. Nice run by Davis. Comes into the game averaging just over 7 yards per carry. So ball just outside the red zone. Fresh set of downs for the Golden Bears offense. Hawk in at the B-back. Keeper by Davis out to the edge, pitches it out to Henry. He's got Felton blocking in front of him again, and nice play coming up from the safety spot. Looked like that was Colin Schmitz, but not until Henry picked up a first down. And the clock stops as it looks like a Bobcat is down on the far side. So clock will run except for official timeouts and timeouts by either side. This is an official timeout. And while we got a timeout, we'll remind you at home that if you want to be part of the Holy Innocents Touchdown Club, just visit hiestdclub.org/join. Again, hiestdclub.org/join. Find the membership level that fits you best and become part of the touchdown club here at Holy Innocents. So it looked like I got the injured Bobcat up. He's walking off the field. It'll be first and goal, ball just inside the 10. Hawk still in as Cox gets looked at over on the sideline. Felton in motion now, reverses. Keeper by Davis, late pitch out to Henry, who can't handle it, and he'll scoop it up for the moment. And let's see who ended up with the ball. And it's going to be Bobcats football. So Henry had it for a minute, then when he tried to roll over and keep it, I think it slipped out of his hands, and the ball will go over to the Bobcats. First turnover for the Golden Bears today. See the pitch there, just got up on Henry's body, couldn't corral it clean. Again, no Will Vincilette tonight, so Henry getting more runs at that A-back spot, just timing a little bit off with the pitch there. Saw pitch timing a little bit off in the first half between Davis and Henry. Officials still conferring. I wonder if they're saying Henry was down when he had the ball and then it leaked out, but they've already reset the chains to give it to Our Lady of Mercy, but now it looks like they're going to keep the ball with Holy Innocents. And so the assumption from here will be that Henry had the ball when he fell back on top of it, and then maybe after that, the ball came loose or one of the defenders stole it from him, so it'll stay with the Golden Bears. It'll be second and goal. So two tight ends and Cardi and the receiver tight to the formation. Henry in motion, give to Hawk up the middle. He's in, his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And the clock will stop. And I'm not sure what for. Well, the clock is stopped, but nonetheless, another touchdown on the board for the Golden Bears offense, this time courtesy of the junior Hunter Hawk. So Cardian will come on for the extra point. 4 or 5 on extra points so far tonight. And that will make it 5 for 6 as the extra point goes through and the lead extends out to 47-0. Golden Bears in control of this game handily. Golden Bears still haven't punted today. Had a turnover on downs late in the first half. Every other drive has resulted in a touchdown. Cox has 3 of them. Davis has 2 on the ground, 1 in the air to Collins. And the last one just came courtesy of Hunter Hawk. So Cardian has this one teed up from the left hash. He'll put his left foot into it. It's a deep kick, and Mullins will let it bounce and keep it in the field of play. He'll return this one up, coming right up the middle, trying to bounce it outside. Steps through one tackler, but good pursuit there by the white jerseys as Mullins gets up in the air and drop down. Drive will start at the 18-yard line for the Bobcat offense. So the freshman Christian Burks continues to lead this offense from the quarterback spot. We've seen Brandon Moss get a lot of carries from the fullback spot, trying to get Bryson Mullins in some space to use his speed, but it's been well defended all evening by the Golden Bears, as it looks like coaching staff may be talking to some of the younger guys, getting ready to get them some reps here in the second half. Most of the first unit still in the game here for the Golden Bears defense. And going to be a handoff up the middle, nowhere to go for Moss. And Spencer Getz comes out of there with the ball, but it'll stay with the Bobcat offense. Front four has been getting good push all evening, not a lot of room to run in between the tackles. Looks like Hunter Hawks playing a defensive tackle role. Moreland Bell, 44, and at linebacker with Graham Collins. So receiver splits out to the top of the screen. Everybody else in tight. They motion the speedster. Mullins pitch it to him. The pitch is behind him. He picks it up, but he is going to lose a big chunk of yards there. Again, just trying to find a way to get their athletes the ball and just can't quite connect, as Marshall Nichols is going to get a run here on the defensive side of the football. Hasn't gotten a lot of action punting the last two games, so he'll get a little contact coming in for Collins at linebacker. So 3rd and long for this offense. See if they go to the air or keep it on the ground and stay conservative. Haven't seen any passes of beyond about 5 yards so far tonight. But Burks hasn't had a lot of time when dropping back to pass. And they're going to give it underneath and nowhere to go for Moss. So it'll bring up 4th down. 5 minutes and counting in our 3rd quarter. So the punt team will come on. Sam Barton, number 24, will drop deep to return this punt. They move Barton up. Now he stands inside the 45-yard line of the Bobcats, and that kick was blocked, but still takes a nice little Bobcat roll and dives down at the 35-yard line. So a short field to work with for the Golden Bears offense, as it looks like we'll see some of the second unit guys, see who comes out at quarterback. And it'll be the freshman Xavier Smith. We've seen him a couple times this year. Had a touchdown last week and had one early in the year against Rutland. And he's counting to make sure he's got 11, and it looks like he's telling the sideline they only have 10, and here comes the 11th guy out there. And Coach Winter will have to call a timeout. And we'll take a quick timeout with them here on SUV TV's coverage of Holy Innocents Golden Bears football. And we're back out of the timeout as Coach Winters got his 11 guys he wants out there. Seeing some new faces, some guys we saw last year, Amari Gordon, and as the B-back, Sam Barton comes in motion. Xavier Smith's going to keep it on the quarterback right away and finding a little bit of room. Pickup of 2 on first down. So clock continues to wind. We're close to 3 minutes here. That was actually a gain of more 3 or 4 as the ball gets down near the 30-yard line. And Smith checks with the sideline to get the updated call. And give to Gordon up the middle, who gets spun forward, picks up a few tackle there out of the Bobcats by 74, Darren Jackson. It's 3rd and 2 here. Smith in at quarterback. Seen him play defensive back tonight and a couple times later in the season. Give again to Gordon, and he's going to have first down yardage. Spun down on the tackle by Schmitz. Clock under 2, and trying to make sure they got right personnel on the field. McKenna stays in as a tight end, Johnston. Pitch out wide, coming to the near side, down the sideline, cutting it up. A nice run there, 29, Chaz Cordell. And he's going to have a first down, it looks like. Right at the 10-yard line, so it'll be goal to go from the 10. Barton, Gordon, and Reffenberger in the backfield. Reffenberger in motion, but to give to Gordon up the middle. Nice gain, but about 5 yards short of the goal line. 2nd and goal. Clock under 40 seconds. May only get one more play here in this 3rd quarter. Receiver splits out wide, top of the screen. See if they go back to Gordon. Smith is going to keep it himself this time. Bounces it outside and taken down. Nice play there on the edge by Brandon Moss. And with under 10 seconds to go, that will take us into the 4th quarter here in Fairburn, Georgia. The score, Holy Innocents 47-0 in total control of this one. We'll be back on SUV TV's coverage of Holy Innocents Golden Bears football right after this. Fourth quarter getting underway here on the campus of our Lady of Mercy. Golden Bears lead 47-0, looking to add on a few more. As the quarterback is Xavier Smith, it's going to be 3rd and goal. They're going to pitch it out wide to Barton. He's going to try to get to the edge, gets a nice seal block, but cannot get in and into the sandpit and onto the track. And hopefully Barton is all right. I think he may have just been surprised to hit the track after getting tackled. Don't have that happen very often. That sand pit for long jumpers is just a few yards off the field of play. Ran his but that's just a tough situation there with the sand pit so close to the field. I can't imagine that's a good thing for this field and these guys over here. Barton's still down. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this. So we're back. Holy Innocents Golden Bears football here on SUV TV. Sam Barton popped up under his own power. There was an unsportsmanlike penalty thrown against Holy Innocents. I think Coach Winter was just sticking up for his players there, a little frustrated. No flag came out for that hit that ended up all the way on the track. Bacardian will attempt the field goal here. Looks like they've got the tee set up at the 24, making this a 34-yard field goal from the left footer. Marshall Nichols, the holder, high snap, but he gets it down, and Cardian's kick is going to be no good. So that's where the Bobcats offense will take over, and the clock will still wind. Or at least, there it goes. Golden Bears defense back on the field, seeing some different guys getting some runs here. The Bears look to move to 5-5 and get themselves into the playoffs next week. Continue to see most of the same guys here for the Bobcats. They only have about 20-25 dressed today, so it'll still be Burks in at quarterback and Moss in there behind him. And quick give to Moss, and he broke through briefly the first line, but spun down after a gain of 5, getting up near the 25. Everyone tight to the formation here for the Bobcats. Now receiver's gonna split out wide, and Sam Barton will go match up with him. Good to see Barton back in the game. Handoff up the middle, and ball pops out. Falling on top of it's Christian Padgett. They threw the beanie for a fumble, and it'll be Golden Bears football. So ball popped out. Padgett was right there, fell on top of it, and another fumble recovery for the Golden Bears. Their third here tonight. Under 10 minutes to go, clock running. Xavier Smith comes out at quarterback again. Last drive ended in a field goal after a penalty, forced a longer field goal. And again, only 10 in the huddle. Here comes the 11th. Michael Williams getting on the field. Gordon, Barton, and Reffenberger, the backs. And 2 in motion. That's going to be a flag, and confusion there as both A-backs started to move. And that'll back up 5 yards and be 1st and 15. So some confusion out of the second guys, getting only 10 in the huddle a few times, and then a miscommunication on who was motioning. Well, that's why you want to get these young guys snaps in varsity games. Barton in motion. Smith gives to Gordon, and Gordon with a nice run keeps the pile moving. Close to first down yardage, about 2 yards short, but a nice hard run there from the freshman Amari Gordon. Barton in motion again, and again it's to Gordon up the middle, has room, and is going to go in for a score. His first rushing touchdown, and a little extra after the whistle, but good job of everybody separating there. So Amari Gordon gets his first varsity touchdown. The freshman goes in from 20 yards out. And a big hole there created by that second unit up front. Carding out for the extra point. Nichols again will be the holder. And a high kick that splits the uprights. As for the third time in 4 games, the Golden Bears go over the 50-point mark. Offense is moving the ball well these last few games, even against weaker competition, just looking sharp and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Haven't seen a punt in the last 2 weeks. As Gordon becomes the 6th Bear to reach the end zone tonight. He joins Cox, Davis, Hawk, Collins, and no, maybe he's only the 5th. Mullins again, the deep man. He's standing heels on the goal line, and that kick will go just to that spot. Mullins fields it on the run, coming up the middle of the field, looking for a little bit of an alley, and not one to be had. Tripped up at the 24-yard line. Clock runs, approaching 8 minutes in our final quarter. Golden Bears got off to a fast start in this one, getting a 3 and out, then scoring on their first play from scrimmage, then forcing another punt. And Michael Cox on 3 plays, 3 carries, went 75 yards and punched one in from a yard out, and it's been all Golden Bears since. Recovered a fumble on that next drive, and it was 21-0 just 7 minutes into this game. Hand off, looking for room, and finding just a little bit was Mullins. But William Willis was there for first contact. Gain of 6 on the run there by Mullins. One of his bigger runs of the game, getting free for 6. Our Lady of Mercy struggled on offense this year, only putting up 44 total points on the season. We're looking to see if they can't add something here. Golden Bears gave up a shutout late last week. Defense this week, wants to keep that shutout. And it's going to again be a handoff. This time it's Watley. He's got a little bit of room to the outside, and Barton will drag him down. And that's the biggest play of the game so far for the Bobcats. Announcer's curse right there on that big run. Chains move. Clock does as well. 6 to go in our final quarter. Ball on the 48 of Holy Innocents. Second time in offensive territory and plus territory for the Bobcats tonight. It's going to be a turn, handoff to Watley again. Similar looking play and similar result as they're going to get a first down. And a nice chunk play there, picking up almost 20. So Barton comes out. Farrell goes in at corner. Padgett, the deepest man at his safety spot. Turn, handoff, breaking through one tackle, but William Willis takes down the ball carrier. That was Mullins. Under 5 to go in our final quarter. Second and 6 for the Bobcat offense. Haven't seen a pass out of them in the second half. As they try to split out the receiver wide, bring a man in motion. It's Mullins. They try to get to the edge. William Willis with another great play, setting the edge and shedding the blocker to make the tackle. Brings up 3rd and 6. See on the replay, Willis doing a really nice job keeping his hands free to be able to make that tackle. Got to imagine 2-down territory here for the Bobcats, so this defense going to need 2 stops. And it's going to be Watley on the carry. He's got a little bit of room. Nice play there. Looked like that may have been Xavier Smith coming in and making that tackle from his defensive back spot. And it'll bring up a 4th down. Chance to get off the field and likely salt this one away. See what the Bobcats offense comes up with. Everything's been under center so far. 1 shotgun snap. Otherwise, it's been pretty traditional, and they're going to call a timeout. Bobcats will call a timeout. Coach Miller wants to talk about this 4th down and trying to get into the end zone. 2:55 to go. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back, 4th down, and the Bobcats are going to try to get some points on the board here. They're going to attempt a 42-yard field goal. The kicker is number 9. And now Holy is going to call a timeout. I don't think. Well, are they? They indicated for a timeout. But I don't think Coach Winter wanted the timeout, so they'll ignore that and wind it for play. The kicker is Ashton Heine Road. Another freshman for this team. We'll see if the right footer can put it through. The holder is Schmitz. And that is not going to make it, and it's going to be left. And the Golden Bears defense gets a stop there. Clock runs under 3 minutes, and that should salt this one away and close out the regular season with a nice shutout victory here for the Golden Bears defense. Always nice to get a shutout, no matter who you're playing, especially when you get some young guys in and they can do the job of the older guys. And it looks like the playoffs may be in sight for this Golden Bears team. We talked about it, teams 23 through 26, all with a 4-5 record. But Golden Bears seem to be in control. If they can get this, or when they get this win, and they did, going away as Gordon gets the carry there. Doesn't move the chain, just about a yard or two short. 2 minutes to go. And then once you get in, you got to find out where you're going, who you're playing. Again, top 8 get a bye. So the 24 would play the 9 seed, 23 the 10 seed, and so on. And it's going to be a pitch to the near side, and not a lot of room. Well strung out by the defense. That was Schmitz on the tackle. That carry went to 29, Chaz Cordell, second of the game. Barton in motion, give up the middle to Gordon. He's going to have the first down. And with 1:10 to go, that should be all the Golden Bears need to run. So we'll see if they take a knee or still pound the ball in between the tackles a little bit more. Snap, give to Gordon. He makes a nice move and picks up another 10 yards or so. Nice showing from Amari Gordon as he's been successful running the football as well as getting in the end zone for his first varsity touchdown. So between Farrell, Gordon, and Xavier Smith this season, we've seen a handful of freshman touchdowns. Golden Bears may have to take one last snap. Smith will take it, give to Gordon. Gordon will get wrapped up after a short gain, and that will close it out. The Golden Bears 5-5 on the season, and what we think will be a playoff berth. Nothing for sure yet, but a dominant win, just what the doctor ordered, 54-0. The Golden Bears close out the regular season with a dominant win to go 5-5. Move to 3-4 in region play, and hopefully give themselves another week together. And that'll do it for us tonight here on SUV TV's coverage of Holy Innocents Golden Bears football.